How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, you can see from the title of the video, this video is going to be for my subscriber, Gemma Wilson. She's asked me about, like, disabled prisoners, prisoners that are not very well, health problems, things like that. Are they treated any different? Are they housed on a special wing or a special unit? So I'm only speaking through my experiences, guys, right? I've been in Forest Bank and I've been in Strangeways. So every prison's different, guys, up and down the country, the way they run and stuff, right? Regimes differ from prison to prison and like everything else. So I can only speak through my experiences personally. So obviously within each prison, you've got all your different wings and stuff, right? You've got a medical wing. Normally a smaller wing. Sometimes they've got 24 beds. Sometimes it's 22, 30. Some short stays, some long stays, right? But what about prisoners that have got that are in wheelchairs? They've lost their limbs. They've had strokes and stuff. They've got paralysis all down the left side of the body and stuff. They're just thrown into general population. I've been in prison with older prisoners. I've been in with prisoners that are in wheelchairs and stuff like that. Prisoners that have had severe strokes and stuff, right? Some young guys that have had strokes, some older people that have had strokes and stuff. Do the prison officers help them and stuff? Absolutely not. No, it's down to prisoners, guys. We've got a lot of empathy and compassion for people that are ill within prison. We feel a great deal for them. And we'll help them for the most part and stuff. If you've got a prisoner there, I've been in with prisoners. I'll give you my own life experience, right? Strangeways. There was a guy. He'd had a stroke. The whole left side of his body was out of action. Felt a great deal for the guy. He was frustrated. He was thinking about taking his own life and stuff. I felt a great deal for him. Now, if you've got paralysis on the left side of your body, how are you supposed to be able to to go with your plate and your spoon and everything, walk across the hot plate, get all your food, and then walk back to your cell in Strangeways, you in your own cell? You can't, can you? So what prisoners would do, he'd go to his cell and say, right, what's your name, or what's your prison number or whatever. Go to the servery where you get your food and say, right, to the screw, whoever's on, right, I'm picking up the food for Joe Bloggs. And then you'd walk across the hot plate, whatever options he's chose. You'd get his food, his dessert, get him some bread and butter, walk to his cell and give it him so he can eat it. I've even seen prisoners that have actually, because obviously if you've got say you've ordered a chicken breast, right? You can't cut it because you need both hands, can't you? So the prisoners actually cut up all the food into child-sized portions so the prisoner can eat his food. Prison doesn't discriminate, guys, right? Regardless of your health, mental health, fucking colour, creed, race, sexual orientation. It doesn't discriminate, guys. Prisons are a very lawless place and stuff. Prisoners that are in wheelchairs and stuff like that, they put prisoners in wheelchairs and things that maybe if they've had a stroke, they put them on the wands. The wands is the ground floor. Why? Because you can't have someone that's had a stroke going up up on the floors, having to walk down to the 3s, the 2s, and the 1s. It's not fair, is it? When I was in when I was in Forest Bank, I saw specially adapted cells on the ones that were there was 2 cells, one either side of the landing, on the ones, and the door had been widened because obviously you need to get a wheelchair through the door. The furniture, which was all all bolted to the wall and stuff, was all lower level. The toilet was at a lower level, the light was at a lower level, and the bed was also at a lower level because obviously disabled access and stuff. There was a prisoner that I was in prison with in Forest Bank. He'd had several strokes. He was in a really bad way. I don't know if he was still alive, to be honest. He was losing the will to live, bless him. I felt a great deal of sorrow. I felt a lot of sympathy for the guy. And he couldn't shower and stuff like that. He couldn't take his clothes off. Prisoners were having to dress him and undress him. And then 3 times a week, these nurses used to come onto the wing, 2 of them. He put him with his Zimmer frame, take him to the shower whilst all the other prisoners were locked up. I was a cleaner, so I was out. And then within the prison, you had a little wooden bench to sit down and get unchanged, to get undressed and stuff. And then there was to the side, because I used to clean the showers, to the side there was a wheelchair, a plastic wheelchair thing which was like just used. So they put him in that, they'd undress him, they put him in that, they'd wheel him to the under the shower head, and then they'd shower him and bathe him and stuff like that. Then they'd try to stand him up, and then they'd be washing him and stuff like that. It's very, for a prisoner and stuff, that must be very, as a man, right, that must be very embarrassing, having to have somebody, you're in prison, it doesn't get much lower than that. And then, like I say, you've got prisoners having to collect your food for you. They're chopping your food up. I've even seen prisoners feed prisoners that have not been able to feed themselves. Because again, we might be prisoners and stuff, and people might have the stereotype of that we're thugs and we're heartless and stuff. Well, it's like a brotherhood in prison. Some people, like I say, try and push you under, but there's a lot of us that we're all treading water together, and if you can help your fellow man, then that's exactly what we'll do. So that's what we should do. So yeah, like I say, it must be very embarrassing for that prisoner to have this sort of situation and stuff. Really nice guy and stuff. When his speech was all over the place and everything, because obviously he'd had a stroke. But again, prisoners, they're put in general population in prisons up and down the country, right? If you've got say you've got cancer, right? You don't get any special treatment. You're another prisoner, right? Yes, you might go for your chemotherapy or whatever, or radiotherapy. You could have HIV. Do you know what I mean? You're just thrown into the wings, guys. It's as simple as that. Healthcare and stuff. You've got a medical. Apart from the medical wing as well, you've got like your nurses and stuff like that. You've got to put apps in to see the nurses and the doctors and everything. When it comes to medication, in my experience, I've been on medication in both Strangeways and Forest Bank. When I was in Strangeways, I was given my medication. I was on sleeping tablets and codeine for my knee. Then I went on to tramadol, again, strong painkiller for my knee. The doctor issued the medication. I got it in possession. For those that don't know, possession means it was in my possession. I was able to take 24, 36, 28, how many tablets I had, take them in my possession, walk back to my cell and put them in my cell. Now, the problem with that is you've got prisoners, every drug in prison prescribed, or whether it's a new psychoactive substance like spice, or whether it's prescribed medication, or if it's drugs, right? Prescribed medication has a price within prison, right? Example, pre-gabs, right? Pre-gabs are a strong, I think it's to do with nerves or something like that. It's a really strong painkiller. And prisoners get them in their possession. It's prescribed by the doctor. What happens? They sell it or they keep it. They break it down into powder form. They chop it and then they snort it to get it into the system quicker, to get off the nut. Prisoners that are not issued that drug, you get prisoners going into other prisoners' cells, stealing their medication and stuff, because, like I said, it's got a value within prison. So that was that. When I was in Forest Bank, what happened in Forest Bank, it was completely different. Strangeways is a Cat A, and I got it in my possession. When it came to Forest Bank is a Cat B prison run by Sodexo Justice Services. I didn't get my medication in possession. You've got the top bit of the prison, which consists of rehab, detox, induction wing, and the nonces, the VP wing, the kiddie fiddlers, the bacons and stuff, right? And then you've got the bottom bit of the prison, right? What we call the main. Now, you had a medical hatch at the main. It's like a star, right, goes round, right? The medical hatch is there, so all the prisoners from different wings come together with the prison ID card. You get to the hatch, you give it to the nurse. The nurse then puts the medication into like a little paper cup. There's normally a jug of water and another plastic cup. You pour your water into your cup, and then there's a screw standing there, and then you put your meds into your mouth. You swill it with some water, you neck it. The prison officer will then ask you to lift your tongue. So you open your mouth, you open your tongue, you show you're not hiding it below your tongue, it's not in the roof of your mouth and stuff. Then you go back to your wing, right? Now the only problem with that is when you pop in sleeping tablets at like 5:15, 5:45, 6 o'clock at night, you're ready for bed at fucking 7 bells, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is the thing. So in the top bit of the prison as well, because you've got detox and recovery, you've got prisoners that are on methadone scripts. Again, same situation. Prisoners are at the top bit of the prison. They come together. They all go down to the medical hatch and stuff. They queue up. you walk down, or they'll shout the names out one at a time, and then you go round and you go in. You give your prison ID card, the steel bars across it, because obviously they've got prescribed medication in there. They don't want prisoners jumping through and stealing it all. Again, you go in, you give your prison ID card, they'll ask you, they'll get the medication up for you, put it in your little paper cup, put it in your mouth, swill some water, prison officer, open your mouth, prove that you've taken your medication. You do that and you go back to your wing. Because what happens is prisoners that are on methadone script, they'll try and cheek the liquid. It's a green liquid. I've never been on drugs myself, but I know what methadone is. They'll cheek it, or they'll try to keep it in the mouth and try and walk back, because spit it out, and another prisoner will take it. Again, drugs have got a price within prisons, whether it's prescribed, illicit, or a new psychoactive substance like spice. So that was that, guys, really. That's pretty much it. So prisoners don't get any special treatment and stuff. Like I say, you've got your medical wings and stuff. If you're deemed to be, they keep you on there. But if you're in the medical wing, they want to get you out of the medical wing, because they either need the space, because like I say, you've got violent incidents taking place. You've got prisoners self-harming. You've got like suicide attempts. You've got, like I say, so you've got all these sorts of things going on. You've got prisoners setting themselves on fire. You're setting the cells on fire and then being dragged out unconscious. And then it's either the hospital, the fire brigade are coming, or you bloody, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I say, prisoners don't get any special treatment if they've got injuries and ailments and stuff. If they're deemed to be accepted onto the medical wing, then they're all right. But like I say, I've seen prisoners with no legs in general population. I've seen prisoners that are more or less blind in general population. It goes on that way, man. It's absolutely crazy, guys. The prison officers don't really, in my experience, they're not there to wipe the arses of the cons. So it's cons looking after cons in that regard. The nurses are cool and stuff. You get some decent nurses and everything like that. The two ladies that used to come onto the wing to shower the guy with the stroke and stuff like that. Even as prisoners, there becomes a point where it's like, wow, I'm not going to wash another man's tackle. That's a bit too far. But as for getting his food, getting his mail, like running around for him, like ordering his canteen for him and stuff like that, prisoners are quite helpful and willing to help the fellow man, regardless of the rubbish that the papers write and stereotypes about prisoners, that we're heartless thugs and stuff and we don't care, we're devoid of emotion and everything. We're quite, like I say, we're all in the same boat when it comes to prison. So you'll find it that if another prisoner needs help, there's always another prisoner there that will help him if he can in any which way. Right, guys, going to leave this video here. Hope this answers questions for Gemma Wilson that she's requested and stuff like that. Again, if your experiences are different on prisons that you've been in and stuff, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to leave this video here, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.